Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you may be watching. My name is Deborah, and this is Deborah's Blue Tarot. It is 11:20 a.m. here in the suburbs of Metro Detroit. I am going to ask you today. First of all, before we even go there, I want to thank everybody who has taken a chance on me, who has subscribed, who has come and watched. Maybe you haven't subscribed yet, but maybe you will. I hope you will. It costs you nothing. It doesn't. I'm sorry, but my hair is getting it done. I'm getting it cut and colored tomorrow. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. I will not be sending you emails because I have no access to that, nor do I have the time. At any rate, I am going to be telling you constantly how grateful I am, because I am. And I know it probably gets old for you to hear it, but I am so grateful to all of you. And in addition to you guys, I want to give a shout out to Melissa at Melissa Speaks to Spirit for her help, for her friendship, for her knowledge, and for her being like a confidant. It's hard to describe. We just kind of clicked. But anyway, that's Melissa Speaks to Spirit. Please go give her a look. She's got a lot of information. She's not real fond of the political thing because it bugs her. So I'm just saying. But she's an outstanding channeler. I mean, it's freaky, to be honest. I also want to give a shout out to Healing Tarot, Shelly. Love you, girl. I can't thank you enough for not only your kindness, but your support of a fellow member of your soul tribe. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Sheila of Sheila's Celtic Tarot, who allowed me to come on her channel and kind of do a little commercial. When I get more time under my belt, I told her I want to come back, and I want 30 minutes. But she is very special, and you probably all subscribe to her. She is as kind on her channel as she is off her channel. She's a lovely, lovely person. And also a big wave to Scott from Scott Allen Tarot or Scott Allen Intuitive. Scott, you're the man. I'm really proud to know you. Anyway, let's get going. This is going to be an unusual reading because I'm using a new deck. New to you, new to me. That's the back of the cards, and this is the front of the cards. But they use different terminology. For example, I'm familiar with the words the Knight of, the Page of, and so on. Young and younger, as they say. And in this deck, they use things like the Elder of Cups, which is what you and I call the King. And so I'm not really used to this. I kind of have gone through the book and tried to do my best to, to give it a look-see, but I may wind up referring back to it with these cards. This is the every little thing you do is magic, which the reason it caught my eye was because I love the band, the Police, and Sting, okay? And the other two as well. They're quite talented. But that song, Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic, that's what drove me to buy these cards. I mean, they're beautiful and they're huge. So I'm going to shuffle on camera with you. I've already done one of those flippy ones, or two of them actually, but I have to break the deck into two parts. I've done my morning meditations and prayers. And just as a reminder, this channel and this reading and anything you get from me here is for entertainment purposes only and is simply my impressions of what I feel with the cards. And today I brought out my rods and pendulum. But nonetheless, it's still my impression and may or may not be factual. Entertainment. So let's have a whirl with these. If I find it frustrating, I'm going to keep these cards right here. If I find it frustrating, I will just stop and use a different deck. I've got a bunch of decks here. All right. So let's begin with a question that was asked to me by one of my subscribers, Paula Sanko. And her question was, will the EPS files ever be released to the general public? I have a personal feeling about that, but it may or may not be accurate. So let's use the cards. Let's see if we can get another one to... Spirit will be kind enough to give me another card right out of the deck. I would appreciate it so much. A little bit more shuffling. I don't want to make this long. I find when my videos are shorter, like under 25 minutes, I'm just going to pull the card. The responses are better. Okay. So let's just go with this. Question again was from Paula. Will the EPS files ever be released? And I pulled 4 cards. Yes, I'm wearing my Empowered Women shirt. Empowered Women, Empower Women. So, I know you probably really can't see those. Let me push this out of the way. All right, better. The Elder of Cups is my first card, and the Elder of Cups is actually the King, like the King. The Elder of Cups, you can see 2 cups here, and the seahorse, and some shells, kind of the cone shells, is in the water. But this is the King of Cups, the Elder of Cups. We'll go over the meanings in a bit. The 3 of Wands. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 of Wands. The Hierophant. Let me just say this. The 3 of Wands. Oh, poo. Let me just say something here. Hang on 1 second. I swear, Steve Jobs, if you're available to talk to me, I would sure like to talk to you. The Three of Wands, as you can see, they're standing there, and they're basically, and you see the boats here, the sailboats, there's water in there. They're waiting for help, for their ship to come in, whatever you want to call it. And they're just standing there. It's a wrench. It's an electric screwdriver and a pliers. If you look really closely, it's kind of cool. Anyway, they're waiting for help from across the water. You can, like I say, you can see the sailboats, the water, and that's what they're waiting for. The Hierophant. This is a card representing government as a whole. The institutions of government. Not necessarily the government as an individual human. I'm talking about things like institutions, courts, Congress, Senate, but the institution of it, not just the individual representation of it. And so they're waiting. Here's the Hierophant, excuse me. And he's standing on ground just in front of the water, waiting for nothing. He's in front of the water. It's kind of a little bit of everything in here. Anyway, this represents the institutions of civilized society. Let's just leave it like that. The Magician is the last card I pulled. The Magician is usually someone who pulls the rabbit out of their hat. Not to be goofy, but it's represented here by a raccoon, a flame with a knife, a cup with water spilling out of it, and a pentacle with, it almost looks like an embryo, but don't necessarily take that as fact. The Magician. So the Magician turns these things into these and these and these. This is someone who is tapping into their ability to manifest. Now, how does it relate to the question? You might be asking that. It is my opinion, based on reading these cards, that the EPS documents will come out. I don't know when, because as you know, timing is very difficult. Let me ask, Spirit, want to give me a hug? Thank you. Spirit is so, I actually can feel myself get the chills right up my back. Thank you, Spirit. So, Spirit, these cards that are sitting below you, in front of you, are these the correct cards that you would like me to use reading on the question about EPS? You know, EPS. Yes or no? Yes. When these rods cross over each other, that's a yes right there. Spirit is strong this morning. Look at him go. Or her. Okay. Spirit, Thank you. I'll be back with you in a bit. So Spirit likes these cards for this question. The king at the time that these information comes out. Here's the information coming across the water from maybe NATO. All of our institutions of government and common good and society are waiting for the documents, the Hierophant in all its glory. There's probably a million different parts of these documents that are related to different avenues of the Hierophant. I'm thinking the courts. And the final card, the Magician, pulling the rabbit out of his or her hat. The Magician is going to release this information as soon as they see fit. And as I said, the Magician is a manifester. So, and we all know how to manifest, right? It's a matter of closing your eyes, sitting or lying down. I like to lie down when I meditate because I don't want my feet to get swollen or anything. It's a medical thing, you know. But Paula, the answer here is yes. Let me just slide these in. Our next question is, there's another plane that went down, a military plane, in a little over 100 days. The Felon has lost planes, military people from the United States and other places. And by the way, you know, it is typical or a common duty of the president to come and to come and show respect for the departed members of the military when they come back in a box. You don't have to see them, you don't have to talk to them, but it is a respectful thing. And all presidents of both parties, or any party, have done this since I can remember. And I'm old. Okay. My point to you is the following. This loser doesn't do that. He thinks people who go into the service are cowards and liars and stupid. And why would you give up your life to defend your country? Was his first question. I like people who come back from war, he said, not people who get captured. To John McCain. Rest in peace, sir. If you want to join me at any time, Senator, I would love to have you. So you are always welcome. Just pop right in, okay? I know I'm not strong with my clairs, but I'm trying. I'm working hard. So this plane that went down, what's the problem in the military? What's going on in the military that keeps dropping these planes whether they be military. Well, in this case, I am asking directly about the military. So let's leave it there. So why are we having so many issues, basically, with our military weaponry, our planes, etc.? Never had it before. I mean, there are accidents, but, you know, just saying. So I am going to pull out my oracle deck here. True crime. I love it. Okay. And I'm going to ask some questions about that. Felon45 and the military planes going down. Felon45 and the military planes that keep going down. Why? Do they not have enough? Did he fire too many people? Too many mechanics? Experts? That is my guess. But it's not backed up by any cards yet. I just had a major collapse, if you will, of my shuffling. Anyway, why does this keep happening? Didn't happen to Biden. Didn't happen to Barack. GW, although he was president during 9/11, and the Obama administration actually left him, I think it was the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary, could have been the president, going out of office, worrying about hot information coming in regarding terrorist activity inbound. And then you have 9/11. So let's pull a few cards on this. Why is this happening? What's going on? Okay. Someone feels trapped. Well, you know, if you didn't break every law on and off the books, maybe you wouldn't be. Trapped. Perversion. The desert. Middle East. Afghanistan. Family. These are families that you are responsible for as the office holder currently. And you are destroying families. Not to mention the million families who lost someone to COVID. Crime of passion. Crime of passion. Well, you and I probably both know what a crime of passion is, but I'm feeling like he's just mad. And he's going after all his, like an enemy hit list. He's thinking about hitting the road. It probably would be a good idea, because if you don't, you're going to ultimately wind up missing. There's probably so many hits out there on you, and they paid a lot of money to go after you. And your celebrity friends. or those you think are your friends. They're all running away. Ellen DeGeneres ran away. Not that she was your friend. I don't even want to say that. The child. Okay. One more. And the grandparents. The child losing the parent. Now needing the grandparents more than ever. Okay. Now, I'm going to use this again. So let me just give it a quick flip around here. I'm trying to keep my readings under a certain period of time. All right, let's use the pendulum. Okay, let's bring this down just a smidge. I'm going to show you this. This is just a little yes, no, maybe, unknown, and the cycles of the moon. I don't need it. I really just use the pendulum for yes and no. Others have used it for spelling words and stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that's, I don't know. I like the yeses and nos. This is just designed for, you know, your enjoyment. Okay. Spirit, please clear. There's the Creator, Spirit, showing you he or she or it or they are here. I am not moving my hand. If it moves at all, it'll move from my elbow, like that. Spirit is here because Spirit is doing a little dance here for you. Spirit, please stop and clear. Stop and clear. Thank you. Question, Spirit. Is the commander-in-chief, or in this case, the office holder, responsible for the unalived military people? Yes. Clear, please. Are they taking too much money out of the military budget, let's say, or the, not military budgets so much as the segment of the budget that goes towards maintenance, etc., on equipment? Have they fired too many people? Yes. Spirit, clear, please. Spirit, will there be further military accidents up and coming? Yes. Clear, please. Spirit, is there anything we can do at this time to stop him? This is an interesting answer. This is a maybe. This is a maybe. And this is a lot of energy. And you can see my hand is still. Maybe. It's not a clear yes. Maybe. All right. Well, I think we need to try really hard. Anyway. Oop, cut off my head. I am going to wish you all a wonderful day. I wish you love and light. Be nice to people if you can. Make sure you start stashing away some canned goods. I did that this morning, just in case the availability is not there. It's not just a pricing issue, although it is, but, even the dollar store, whatever dollar store you go to, has this. At any rate, I wish you peace. I wish you love.